Bleach, Soul Resurrection.
Today in review we are looking at Bleach, Soul Resurrection for the PlayStation 3, which this is off of the very popular Bleach manga and anime series from Japan, and pretty much made up of the storyline from the beginning of the Isaac arc up to you defeat Isaac, which is pretty much from the time Ichigo and all his friends head to rescue Orihime up to the death of Isaac. And the issue here with the story is the story is not told in a very well way. It's like bits and pieces cut out, and with only 14 stages, and each stage almost made up of playing at a different character altogether, you are toured around in the universe and the storyline without any really connecting to it overall. It just feels extremely rushed, but only a handful of cutscenes toward the end. Most of the time you gain the story from a little plot synopsis from the beginning of each chapter, which will go over a lot of people's head without you actually follow the Bleach anime or manga, because most of the time it just made up so-and-so fight so-and-so and so-and-so die. It do not connect well to someone who haven't seen it sort material to begin with. But if you have seen it, the gameplay itself is made up pretty much like Dynasty Warrior, where you fight many people running at you, and in many cases pretty much the same people over and over again till you get to a boss, you fight the boss, and you move on. It's nothing really toward outside of this, and the fighting ability you have, you don't really have any upgrading as far as new techniques. It's more of just made up of add more health to you, more defense, make your Bankai meter fill up faster, which the Bankai meter itself is a version of a power-up, which you can activate it after doing an up combo, which will give you a more powerful attack for a while, and in return give you the ability to go Bankai to pretty much do a super attack, which will annihilate everything on the screen. And the gameplay is just overall very simple and very button mashy, since it only the ability of dash, quote range, long range, and of course a like miniature super move toward into the overall Bankai ability. It's just a lot of rinse and we repeat here. And the level itself is made up of pretty much 4 stages repeated over and over again, just laid out in this way. And then we try to just give the overall look to it a boring one, elite for the areas around you. The level design is poor, and that's saying lightly on how bad the level design can be in this. But on the upside of it, the character design is actually fairly well and seems very close to how the character from the manga or the anime would look in a 3-dimensional space. But outside the storyline, of course, you have mission mode, which will unlock artwork and sound effects and whatnot. And the mission mode is made up of pretty much you play a level, which is get through it in a certain amount of time, defeat a boss, do this certain thing to get past it. Pretty much just like it's called mission mode. It's just a whole bunch of little mini missions toward into some stages, well, along with a couple of new ones, which are quite sad it wasn't an overall real game, which would of course going to the Soul Society, but overall it's still just boring, and the gameplay is not great. This is something for the fans who just want to play as the character and relive some of the most interesting battle from that story arc of Isaac's. But for everyone else, this is not a really good game. But also for the fans, without you a fan of the dub, you might also be disappointed because there's no option to originally listen into the Japanese language, which is sad, and personally me being side of the subtitles and hearing the Japanese voice, it would have been nice to actually hear the voices I know instead of the dub. Nothing against the dub, everyone did a fairly decent job depending on who is who, you know the routine of anime voice acting. So overall, I give Bleach Soul Resurrection for the PlayStation 3 a 2 out of 5.
You're mine, Aizen! Impossible!